you are doing. You see? And my father, believe me, and my parents, none of us were very religious. None of us at all. Ask my father how many times he's been to church. Okay? So it's not a religious thing. I want to make a point here also for my, compatriots. I mean, mashallah, I have somebody here who is Greek, mashallah. He's from Greece, from Cyprus. So, by the way, Cyprus is independent, right? It's not Greece, right? But there are Greek people living in Cyprus, or Greek Cypriots. Now, the ideas the mentality that our people have in the South, Mediterranean South, especially Spaniards, Portuguese, Italians, Greeks, the mentality that they have is really an identity thing. If you are a Spaniard, you have to be Catholic. It does not matter if you believe in it or not. If you even curse the Pope in and out, it doesn't matter as long as you don't change your religion. Officially at least. Unofficially, you've done it already. So, Spanish people, for example, can be extremely intolerant towards the Muslims, although they had a glorious time of 700 years of the Muslims being in Spain. And just now they're coming out with that. Just now there are Spanish people saying, guys, no, it's not true what they had taught us before. But this is Spain, and it finished in Spain in 1492. Whereas in Greece and in the Balkans, until recently, the Ottomans were there until 1920, until 1923. So there was still, that century, more or less, not even 100 years ago, the Ottomans were there. So I think there's a kind of trying to work over history, try to work out actually what exactly, trying to work out the identity. And it's an identity thing. Believe me, my father has no idea about religion, has no idea about the Bible. My mother has no idea about the Bible. They're not interested in that. Even if you come and tell them passages of the Bible, they're not interested in that. They're interested in you being Greek and being Orthodox, or saying that you're Orthodox. Even if you're Muslim, it doesn't matter. Don't say it. It's an identity thing. And it's a pride thing. It's a face thing. Losing your face. The Asians the Far Eastern people, Chinese and Japanese, they have this a lot, losing face. And you know what? The Mediterranean people have this also very much. Losing face in their community. Okay? And much more so if you are a minority abroad, like my parents living in Germany. That's an identity thing. Suddenly you're not Greek anymore. Yes, bro?
You talked about the struggles that you faced at the beginning when you reverted to Islam with your parents. What sort of relationship do you share with your parents now, and how have you seen it develop? I just wanted to have something positive as well.
Okay. So you want to have something positive?
Yeah.
Okay, I give you something positive. I go and visit them once in a while.
Dealt with it, how you realized how you yourself can deal with things a lot better, and the reciprocity that you get.
Okay, something very positive is I was extremely harsh at the beginning, as a new Muslim is in general, because we're emotional and we want to give through. We think that once you accept Islam, you think the whole world will accept Islam because they will see the truth. Because we saw it, I expected everybody to see it. That's, of course, nonsense. And that's what I try to give through to people who are accepting Islam nowadays, who are new. But you have to go, I think, through that phase. So I was harsh with my parents, and I've learned, after many years, not to be harsh to them, and that it's not a religious thing, but it's an identity thing with them. So that's one thing. With regards to dealing with them, I have also learned to deal with them in a different way nowadays. When I visit them, we don't talk about Islam. We have talked about it, we are done with it. Finish with it. You want to know, you come and ask me. You don't want to know, you know now enough. My mother and my father knows enough. So if they wanted to understand Islam better, then it's up to them to understand it. If they don't want it, it's up to them again. So, but we do talk. I do call them at least twice a week. It's a program for me. I call them twice a week at least, to speak to them, to say hi, to see how they're doing, how is everything going there. And that's about it. Well, obviously, my children, we're trying to have contact as much as we can, but it is something that seems to be extremely difficult for them to understand and to accept. Yes. Yes, bro.
You said that women aren't oppressed in Islam, but yet they wear the headscarf, so surely that's a representation of oppression.
Of course.
Because, they should be, if they're liberal and you represent it, then they should be free to show their hair and other things like that. Surely it's not, I know there's a modesty element to it, but surely you can be modest without wearing a headscarf.
So yeah, of course, like my mother is saying, I know, yeah. Yes, thank you. Yes, it's a very, very good, very valid question, actually. Why do you have to wear the headscarf? You know what? Islam, there's a framework. Islam there is a framework. Okay? And we move within this framework of Islam. Now, if you want to call yourself, give yourself a certain name, and you want to belong to a certain group or certain people, then you would have to also adhere to the rules of that group. Okay? Or to what is given to you, what is given to that group or to that particular society, association, whatever. Now, if you're a communist and you don't believe in Karl Marx, then you have a problem. What kind of communist are you then? Because that's the founder of communism, right? You cannot not believe in Karl Marx and what he said. If you are Muslim and you don't believe in Allah's word, then what kind of Muslim can you be? A logical thing, right? I mean, logical conclusion. If you're a Christian and you don't believe in the Bible, then you have a problem. What kind of Christian are you then, right? It's a logical thing again. So now, Allah tells us in the Quran, we have to actually obey, we have to follow certain rules. As a male and as a female. By the way, we're all equal, but not the same. Big difference. We're all equal, but not the same. And I'm very sure any feminist will agree with me that I cannot give birth to children and I don't want to. So that makes me different to women, right? A woman having to go to child labor, 9 months. I don't ask any man here to understand this because I don't understand it myself. But we have to try to understand. You know what that means? Have you ever read reports by doctors who describe the pains of a woman? They know that when the woman delivers, you know that her pain level is higher than, I read recently, is higher than having a certain amount of, my goodness, let me just think what I read recently. It's an unbelievable amount of surrounding, what was it? Let me think. It's a very important thing because when I read it, I just thought it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Having so much pain. This pain is unbearable for a man. You know that? They say that. Doctors say for a man it's unbearable, but for a woman it is. When Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says that the paradise is at the woman's feet, at the mother's feet actually, and when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was asked, who do I have to respect first after Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, what did he say? Your mother. Again, next one, your mother. Next one, your mother. Next one, your father. After 3 times your mother, then just your father. And then you start wondering as a father, man, what's my position, man? I thought I was a man of the household. Now we come back to the point, a woman wears hijab. A woman has to wear hijab, and this is a sign or a symbol for certain people that the women are suppressed in Islam because they wear hijab. If I gave you sweet, on the one hand I have it wrapped in the other hand I have it open, which one would you take?
The wrapped,
obviously. And the woman, your wife, is wrapped. For you, she unwraps. She's there at home for you. Okay, and this is your right as a man and her right as a woman as well. It's a right, guys. It's not something, it's not a right to go out and show your breasts. That's not a right. And modesty, there is again a framework within Islam. Yes, you might interpret modesty else. Look, I don't wear jeans. I just wear, long skirts. Another one might say, but no, I wear short skirts. Still, you can't see a lot. Another one would say, but no, I wear coats. So you see, but what we do as Muslims, we follow the framework so that we all agree on this, that no, it's not about short and long skirts. There is a cover, the aura of the woman is different from the man because we are different. And the aura of the woman is not just a hijab, by the way, because you can wear hijab as we have seen women wearing hijab, scarf, but then tight jeans and you see the butt moving. All right? Now let's be honest. I've seen that. We've seen that. And then you wonder, what is this woman doing? What is this woman doing? What kind of hijab is that? The hijab is not really just that. The hijab is everything. So that means you cannot be wearing tight jeans if you're wearing headscarf. For a man, there's also hijab, by the way. The hijab for the man is different because we are different. And the hijab for a man is basically from the navel down to the knee. So I cannot run around with shorts looking like a football player. That's haram for the man in Islam as well. So we're the same, we're equal but not the same. You see the point here now? We're equal, but not the same.